My name's Allie Howe. I am the Insecure Code examples co-lead. So I like to also thank my other co-lead that cannot be here with us today, Peter Stephenson. Thank you so much, Peter, if you're with us virtually. Um, like John mentioned, there's a big initiative within OWASP of not only to put out terrific guidance, but to make sure it's practical and useful, and really get our hands dirty and make sure that this stuff works. So one of the ways that we were looking to accomplish this was to lead this initiative around this insecure code example. So go out and with ourselves, try these agentic frameworks, build examples of agents ourselves, and see, how easy is it really to create an insecure agent. We also opened this up to the larger community for them to be able to send us and produce insecure code examples. We did a hackathon in New York City as part of that initiative, which I'll touch on more later. But basically, you can go to this link and see some of the insecure code samples that are up on GitHub to date. We're constantly adding more, so always come back and look back for more. As of right now, some of the frameworks covered that are in there are LangGraph, AutoGen, CrewAI, AWS Bedrock, and the Agents SDK from OpenAI. Also been working to add Pydantic AI and Mastra to the list as well. But basically, there's a bunch of different great examples in there. I'll go over some of the things we've covered in there. So a lot of what we have done to date is built on the work that has come before us. So we mentioned earlier that we have an agentic threats and mitigation guide that Helen led and produced for us, which has all these amazing threats and vulnerabilities that are specific to AI agents. For example, like tool misuse, excessive agency, even going so far as like human manipulation. And that guide explains what those are. And we have mapped our insecure code examples to either those threats and vulnerabilities or the top 10 for the LLMs. And some of the agent. Yeah.
I'm saying that. So
No.
are you saying that that clever keyboard that Helen was presenting, someone could go and see the Python code for those vulnerabilities?
Yeah, no, Finbot is real. Okay, so if you want to go see Finbot, go to our repo and actually check it out. You can, clone, fork it, try it out yourself. If you want to add more to it, add more, make it even more insecure, ship it again, like bring it back to us. I'd love that. So please, yeah, that'd be great. Um, and so there's more patterns that were covered, like single agent, multi-agent. I mean, we've got RAG examples in there. We've got a hierarchical agent, conversational agents. We've got examples of like customer chatbots gone awry. You name it, it's in there. I hope it's really helpful. I hope it's useful. If you've got any sort of like feedback on it, or if you'd like to add more to it and participate, I'd love that. It'd be really helpful to get more people involved in this. So one of the things we did to expand our outreach, because OWASP is fantastic and there's so many people here, but we just need more. We need more people to create examples of insecure agents, so we know kind of like what not to do, or really put ourselves in a position to provide actionable guidance. And one of the ways we did that is we hosted a hackathon in New York City at Penzar HQ. So thank you so much, Penzar, for helping us host that. It was on April 1st, which is like kind of fun, right? Because it's like April Fool's Day. Like, let's actually get together with the idea of building something that's insecure, like by design, like on purpose, which was kind of fun. We did that in support from a few companies: Mastra, Pydantic, Penzar, and Splix AI. Penzar and Splix AI were really helpful at this hackathon because they helped us find some of the vulnerabilities that were in our agentic code. So both of those companies were able to map the findings back to our threats and mitigations guide, as well as the top 10 for LLMs. And some of these examples made it into our repository that has the insecure code examples. Some of these submissions were fantastic, and we'd like to recognize some of them. But before we do, I think one of the big takeaways that I'd like to share from this event is it's really easy to build an insecure agent. We had people there at that event. There were students all the way up to senior architects at well-known companies that you would recognize. All of them easily built insecure agents within matters of minutes without really trying too hard to do so. So there's a lot of work to be done in terms of like recognizing that there's lots of like different threats there, and how can we, do our best to make sure that we don't, yeah. Oh yeah, and vibe coding for sure. Right. I mean, that's a whole nother thing for sure. Yeah, that's something to get into as well. So to recognize some of the people that did amazing work at this hackathon. I'd like to recognize Harrison Muchnick, Arjun Ramakrishnan, and Pearlie Dahan. Thank you so much for your amazing work and your insecure code examples.
And I hope they're watching guys. So
Yeah, I hope you're watching because we're going to send you one of these amazing plaques in the mail. You deserve it. Thank you so much. Super fun, super nice. We'd also like to recognize some special.
talking to someone.
Oh, no, yeah. He's not gonna want to miss this. I know it. Yeah, we had some really good contributions outside of the hackathon as well. These were kind of like internal. These are folks from OWASP that did some really great work for this. Vulcan Cuddle, he made a conversational agent that handles customer refunds. And you can like notice in the system prompt here, he says like always follow the policy, never override it. Spoiler alert, it's going to override it. And it's also not going to follow the policy. And you can check out that example on the repo. And then I'd like to also recognize Ken, our
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of people are wondering right now, how do I build an MCP server securely? Like I'm personally fielding questions from companies of like, how do I build an MCP server? And can I rely on these PRs about authentication that are up right now? When are they going to go through? Like, what are the threats related there? And so Ken's made an awesome example there to check out if you're looking at using MCP servers or building your own. And then also one of the fun, interesting takeaways, like for me personally, after working with all of these different frameworks is it's really easy, yes, to create an insecure agent, but that's not to like bash the frameworks, right? We're not saying like, if you're going to use a framework, then it's going to like make your code like insecure. Some of these frameworks do offer some like advantages for security. So I think it'd be fun to, continue this research and to look into ways and like best practices for these common frameworks that people use. Like, what are the security advantages that they offer that we can distill and bring to the community? So it's like, hey, if you're going to use like Mostra, if you're going to use Pydantic, if you're going to use Crew, like here's the things that you want to make sure you're taking advantage of that this framework provides that could be helpful for security. For example, like for Mostra, like they shipped agent runtime context, which is like pretty cool because you can set certain context per agent run. Like not everything needs to be persistent in memory. So that's a good use case for just like scoping down and preventing excessive agency. And also like the tools list on MCP servers can be mutable. So like say like for one example I was building something with the GitHub MCP server and I wanted to like create PRs, but I also didn't want to be able to delete things in GitHub. So I didn't need the delete MCP tool that came with it, but you can, it's a mutable tools list. So you can get rid of the tools that you don't need, which is helpful for security as well. Cause we know we want to prevent like excessive agency and tool misuse. From Pydantic, they've got like data validation, which can be helpful for security. And also they built a run Python MCP server. So you can like run arbitrary code in a sandbox, which is, helpful for security. And I'd like to continue this research and go into like other frameworks as well, but I'm sure they have amazing things as well to offer for us that are helpful for security. Any questions on any of the insecure code samples that we built? No. Oh. Yeah, exactly. Totally. Yeah, super exciting and it's ever evolving and excited to continue researching this.
Planning to do more hackathons.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we are.
So that's okay. So don't think you missed your opportunity. We think that's kind of vital. If you're watching from kind of the live stream, we're planning to do one in Europe possibly. It was nice to see you in London. But yeah, kind of contribute and the hackathons are just a event. You can go to the GitHub repository and you can see the code and you can contribute your own samples. So thank you.